What's up, my good people? This is Joey Young, and today I'm talking about the joy of goal setting. If you've been struggling to set clear, motivating goals for yourself, watch on because I'm going to lay out how it can be easy and fun. And if you think that setting goals is all work and no play, on the contrary, making work feel like play is actually the key to longevity in life and business. So let's talk about how to make goal setting fun. But before, if you don't mind, hit that like button on this video. And what that does, by the way, when you do that for me, is it tells YouTube like, hey, there's something cool going on over here. Like, people are liking this stuff. And then YouTube's like, okay, maybe I'll promote this video to more people who might like it. And then there becomes more help to those individuals who could benefit from this content. So I appreciate you hitting that like button. Let's jump into the first point here. The first big idea why goal setting is fun is when you get clear about what you want, you automatically become happier. And the reason for this is it's just true. When we get clear about our goals, we create purpose in our lives. And the purpose in our lives is the mother of fulfillment. When we get clear about what the outcomes we're going after are, when we get clear about the results we're trying to create, we create for ourselves a purpose to get up in the morning, to work towards those goals. And that purpose creates this need to fulfill that purpose, and that's where the fulfillment comes in on the back end, where we have a purpose, we're working towards it, and we feel fulfilled because we have this outcome we're working towards, and it feels good to work towards it. Even if it's not easy, even if it can be hard sometimes, that doesn't matter. The fulfillment comes from working towards that specific goal and that specific aim, and it doesn't happen without having that specific aim. See, the problem is a lot of people go throughout their life and they think they have goals and they think they have a focus and they think that they know what they're doing and they've got a self-determined sort of future for themselves. But the reality is, when the opportunity comes by, they're like, oh, and there's like a shiny object, and they start paddling towards that little opportunity, that little shiny thing, and then it kind of gets hard, and eventually a couple weeks later they kind of peter out and they just kind of sit there in the water again, and another opportunity pops up, and then they're like, oh, shiny object, and they paddle towards that, and then little waves come along and they're like, oh, this is so tough, I'm just gonna let it go. And before you know it, at the end of their life, they've just been paddling in circles. And a purpose is very different, because when we have a goal, it's not about how hard it is. It's not about whether we can, easily obtain the goal. It's about the joy of working towards that meaningful outcome and the fulfillment we get from that. And that's why it's so exciting and so much fun to set a goal. Okay, so point number 2, vision walls are fun to make. This is just the pure joy of creativity, okay? So you may have heard of a vision board before, right? Or perhaps a battle board or something like that. Well, this is a similar idea, but I like to call it a vision wall. Because when you create a goal, it's super important to blow it up and to make it big and to make it front and center of your life. And so I like to take up a whole wall with the goals I'm working towards. And when you have that focus of every single day looking at your vision wall, it creates a lot of momentum towards your goal. But in this video, I want to talk about why it's fun to create, because when you're creating a vision wall, you're writing your goal on the wall, clear as day, what you want, and you can have some fun with this. It's a very personal process. Some people love words, and so they'll write sentences or paragraphs about what will be the results of their goal, what will actually create meaning in their life when they fulfill it, who they'll get to be, what they'll get to do, what they'll have, the relationships they'll develop to achieve this goal, and they have lots of words to describe that. Some people love pictures, and so they'll put photographs of things that represent the completion of their goal. And some people have a mix of both. And that process of laying out your goal in a visual way is just so much fun to do because it's so personal and it's creative. And then when you have this vision wall of your goal, you can actually connect it directly with the fulfillment of your goal, because it's not just what the goal is, but you can lay out in step-by-step fashion the milestones of what you need to achieve that goal. And that creates not only the joy in looking at the goal, but it creates this sense of certainty that you can complete it, because you can see the steps on the way to your goal. And if you don't know how to kind of set up the milestones and the strategy and structure of a goal, don't worry about it. I've got the goal execution formula free training that's available in the link in the description of this video if you're interested in discovering the step-by-step process and the strategy of achieving a goal. And that's going to help you to, there's actually printables right in the worksheet there, to put them on the wall in monthly and weekly formats to get yourself to complete that goal in a strategic way. So creating that vision board is just so much fun, having the vision up on the wall, what you want to achieve, and then having those pieces and those milestones on the way. So much creativity, so much expression. It's just a fun process, and I hope that you get to enjoy that. So the third reason it's so much fun to set goals is when you set a real target, you start to feel real progress. You see, there's too many people out there who are focused on their next dopamine hit. Well, what is dopamine? You may have heard of it before. It's a chemical that gets released in your brain when you check something off your to-do list or when you scroll on Facebook. And it can be very helpful in some cases because it helps us to motivate us to do things that can build a better future and a better life for ourselves. This chemical process is what our brain hits us with when we eat ice cream or we get something done that helps us throughout the workday. The problem is that the technology industry, this is very common knowledge, has hardwired that and has basically created a dopamine overload in our brain as we're scrolling through their social media feeds and our entertainment feeds and our browsing the internet. There's just too many hits of dopamine for our brain to handle. It's not wired to handle this level of dopamine, and people become addicted to this process. And so a lot of people these days are focused throughout the day on getting that next hit of dopamine. So why is this a problem? What's the issue with that? Well, the issue is it creates less desire for the fulfillment of long-term goals, and it creates less satisfaction over the long term. You see, there's another chemical in the brain called serotonin, and the serotonin is really what the sense of pride and the feeling of pride comes from. When our brain releases serotonin, it's because we've graduated from our college degree. And we've walked across the stage and our friends and family are clapping and cheering us because we spent 4 years of our life towards this one moment of getting this diploma. And we feel pride. And it's when we hit a goal that we've been working towards for a long time and we feel the satisfaction of a job well done. That's the serotonin in our brain. But not enough people feel that. Too many people are caught in these dopamine loops and they neglect the serotonin in their life. And what a goal does, when we set a goal, is it creates a point we can work towards, and therefore the satisfaction of working towards it. In the milestones that we hit on the way to our goal, in the completion of a well-earned, hard-fought goal, we get serotonin and we get that satisfaction that is so much more meaningful than the constant hit of dopamine that we can easily get from scrolling through Instagram, for example. So setting goals can help us to get that sense of satisfaction by directing our focus towards more long-term, satisfactory, serotonin-based situations. And that can be a huge radical shift for a lot of people who've been stuck in the sort of Facebook loop. So I hope that helps you, these three things, kind of help you understand what it feels like to set a goal in a fun way. This does not have to be a grind. It doesn't have to be hard to set a goal. You just got to sit down and you got to write down what you want, and you got to be able to think, what is the future I want to create for myself? Who do I want to serve at a high level? What type of business do I want to create? What type of person do I want to be? What kind of things do I want to have? What type of relationships do I want to create? That's the essence of goal setting. It's feeling inspired from the inside to create a future that motivates and inspires you. And this is a fun process, creating the vision board, having a direction, and feeling pulled towards that future vision that you've created. It's fun, it's exciting, it creates a better life for yourself. And I'll end this video with what I always say, which is to get out there and create the impossible in your life. And you can only do that by setting some awesome goals. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It really helps spread the message. And hey, I know you're the type of person who has big dreams for your life. You've got goals and you want to create a better future for yourself and your family. As a personal development coach, it's my job to help you identify and take action on whatever your next step is. So please take action right now. Click the link in the video description and book yourself a free 30-minute clarity call with myself. We'll talk about you, your challenges, and what the exact next step is for you. I can't wait to see how I can help you create the impossible in your life. So if that would be of service to you, if that would help, click the link in the video description, and I can't wait to talk to you soon.